Although I recently advocated for buffing Black Orcs, the Crimson Killers do make up for that low-ish melee attack being their Regiment of Renown, and also the +8 bonus versus infantry, of course, against infantry, that applies to their melee attack and weapon strength both, so they actually can hit pretty hard when compared to other elite infantry. This one today, straight from Mr. Cool Umbrella himself, Azag the Slaughter up in the sky, Crimson Killers and other Black Orcs on the flanks. We've got Orc Boar Boy Biggins, Spider Riders, Orc Air Boys, front line of Goblins with some Squigs supporting. This is kind of the ultimate combined arms Greenskins build here, I would say, and it's up against a very interesting Chaos build. We're looking at Archaon with a wave of infantry, more or less. So Archaon's going to be the heavy lifter here, of course. He's got Burning Head and Spirit Leech. Got a front line of Marauders with the Mirror Guard anchoring the center. Also got some Chosen with Axe and Shield, a couple of Halberds, and one great weapon, Chaos Warrior. So not a lot of flexibility from the Chaos side here, but a lot of infantry for Archaon to get support from and kind of tank through, and infantry that will trade well into Greenskins, as the Mirror Guard are likely to do here. Archaon himself just getting a nasty rear charge into, I mean, they are just goblins after all, but that's just fine. Oh yeah, there's one unit of mobility here, the Knights of Immolation, the Doom Knights Regiment of Renown, of course, with decent melee defense, decent charge bonus. They're gonna fly up on this flank. We're on Toothgrass Hill, one of my personal favorite maps, and a huge engagement playing out all across the field there. We've got Fanatics going off, Goblins, Marauders, and Orcs, and everything clashing. Hoop shoots open, and that flaming feces drops right on the head of the Crimson Killers. Going to debuff their armor, make them additionally weak to fire, but first Wah gets popped very early, as there's a lot of models in melee combat. Nasty Burning Head, though, is just going to cut through these 8-peak loons. And the Goblins and the Orc Boar Boy Biggins, great hit there. Does a lot of damage, but that Wah also leading to a lot of damage from the Greenskins. And the Crimson Killers able to just annihilate these Marauders and do some nice damage to the Knights of Immolation as well. Of course, bonuses versus infantry doesn't apply to them because they do count as large, which, stopping to think about it, I'm not sure if the Disc Knights should actually count as large. It's basically just a dude standing on a platform, and the platform is not particularly big, so I don't know. You guys debate that in the comments below. Do Knights actually technically count as large or not? Anyway, little bit of, was that Fate of Buna there? Yeah, Fate of Buna on those Chosen, trying to burst them down. Another Wah going off, and the Greenskins are doing reasonably well in this kind of low ground. The Chosen are starting to get a little bit strung out as they try and chase down those Orc Air Boys, Savage Orc Air Boys, but this engagement here going fairly poorly for the Greenskins. Black Orc, Orc Boar Boy Biggins getting routed off there. The Crimson Killers starting to pursue the Marauders. They've broken, but they definitely need to turn around and come downhill. They'll have a nice advantage fighting from the top of the hill, it must be said. If we take a view here, we can see a little bit better this kind of slope they're dealing with. You can see the Crimson Killers there at the top of the hill. Some more Fanatics being unleashed there. Gonna maybe do some friendly fire here, perhaps. Nope, they're kind of going both directions. Probably did some pretty good damage to that Mirror Guard on the initial cast, and this last one ends just enough to get another couple hits on there. Yeah, this Doom Knight here, trying to drop on these Orc Air Boys. Great job with the Spider Riders kind of trapping. Azag's also going to charge on in, which is, again, this is a terrible situation for the Doom Knights to be in, but Archaon lurking dangerously close. Be able to charge on over. Azag sees him coming, is going to try and Spirit Leech, but Azag's Wyvern's relatively slow to react, not going to be able to get away in time. Nice Burning Head timed with that charge as well. Is going to tear out a bunch of the Greenskins units, get rid of a lot of Azag's support, but thankfully Archaon does get a little bit blocked by his own Doom Knights there, and Azag's able to escape back up into the air. Black Orcs from the flanks closing in. Let's check back in with the Crimson Killers as they're tangled up with an infantry blob here, including some Chaos Warrior great weapons, Mirror Guard also, but Crimson Killers with their dual axes, it's going to be an ideal situation for them to be able to just cut through swaths of infantry, and especially, again, with that little bit of a hill advantage. I forget all of the exact modifiers. I want to say weapon strength is one of them, though, or charge bonus, or possibly both. Yeah. So the Crimson Kill is already very impressive in that aspect. We'll be just hitting that much harder. The rest of the Greenskins build is definitely struggling, you know, having some major leadership issues throughout the Orc Air Boys, Spider Riders, Boar Boys, everything else is just slowly getting ground down by waves of Chaos Infantry, and then, of course, Archaon running around like a bowling ball, wrecking everything that comes close to him. Another beautiful Burning Head gonna rip through those Air Boys and continue that route as it goes on. The Knights of Immolation, interestingly, arguably early in the battle, I think maybe they should have tried to pressure Azag directly in the air. Might have kind of put the Greenskins a little bit on the back foot when it comes to micro and initiative, but instead they're trying to escape Azag. I'm not really sure. They land on the Crimson Killers, which is not exactly ideal, but it actually affords Azag a good opportunity to also just land on the Crimson Killers and fight on top of his most healthy unit. Probably the safest place for him to be right now. I don't know. This other Black Orc is still pretty healthy over here as well, and they're doing a good job fighting out in the open field, but this is a situation where the Black Orcs will struggle, right? That low melee attack plus the fact that they're exhausted means they're really not making consistent contact. I mean, against Chosen especially, but even these Marauders and the Chaos Warrior Halberds are going to trade okay, and a little bit of Archer Fire coming in there to help even things out against the Chosen. They'll probably win, but they're not trading great. Whereas again, the Crimson Killers with that extra melee attack plus the bonus for his infantry, they have so much more to give in terms of hit chance, and so the damage will be a lot more consistent, especially late in the game when everyone starts to get tired and exhausted. It does debuff your melee attack, I believe. Again, I don't remember exactly all the modifiers. It's been a while since I've looked at what specifically it does, but speed is the biggest by far, and then I believe melee attack also gets affected. I think melee defense also does maybe a little bit, but to a lesser degree, perhaps, than melee attack. You guys will have to let me know down in the comments below. I didn't actually check exact values before this, but yeah, another Spirit Leech on Archaon. A bit magic left for Azag. Gonna be great as he kind of rallies to his weakened troops here. He does have a few units kind of coming back, though. The Crimson Killers were able to act as a little bit of an anchor to stabilize things. Now he can kind of get some supporting goblins, get his archers in the near vicinity, and kind of get everyone together and ready for end times as the Ever-Chosen approaches. It's kind of like in Warhammer 1, how you would, get all your Doom stacks ready in that one particular mountain pass next to the Chaos Waste, and then when the Chaos Doom stacks arrive, you just go wipe them immediately. At least if your campaign was going well and you were in a position to do so. Simpler times it was. Last, here we are on Warhammer 3, Archaon with the animations and model set that he always deserved, let's be honest. Much cooler now than he was then, in terms of power level, and again, animations, models, everything really. Still gotta respect the OG Archaon though. And Warhammer 1 and 2, of course, the journey that we've all been on. It's been great. Been amazing. Spirit Leech on Archaon though, and all these Greenskins infantry closing in on him, getting a nice surround. Let's fast forward as Archaon actually is probably going to be able to route. If he has one Burning Head, he could probably just route all of them. I mean, I guess the Black Orcs probably won't route because they're not susceptible to terror with their immune to psychology. But, yeah, he pretty much can route everything else. This will take some time. I don't know, maybe Archaon can make a big swing and bring it back, but probably should have waited on that Burning Head till everyone was in a true blob like this. Then you could have got even better contact. But yeah, eventually it comes down to Black Orcs. Crimson Killers actually do route eventually. Let's check in on their kind of final value total. 240 kills, 2,000 damage value. Awesome to see. Spirit Leech, and let's see if Cycle Charge from Azag is enough. Azag's, I don't know, if he takes like 4 or 5 consecutive hits, he might just route, and then it would all be all over for the Greenskins, so surprisingly still a little bit risky, but especially with those Black Orcs in support, the Crimson Killers coming back. One more Burning Head. Probably actually should be just a Spirit Leech on Azag, in my opinion, at this point. Try and route him, but not enough to save Archaon. He is going to get routed, and that will be the end of the end times. There you go, guys. It's canceled officially. So a fun one for sure. Definitely a fun one. I mean, Azag does a great job. Almost 3,000 damage value on him. Just fantastic. 2,000 damage value on the Crimson Killers and 1,000 on the regular Black Orcs. So just all around elites for Full Umbrella paying back. Orc Warbarbigans doing a decent job. One of them definitely pays for themselves considering how relatively inexpensive they are. I would definitely class them as like a mid-tier shock cavalry, and they're probably the best in that class. Probably better than Knights of the Realm. I don't know. You guys will have to debate that in the comments below as I carefully consider it as I'm going to sleep tonight. Yeah, anyway. Decent value on the goblins. I love goblins, personally. I think they're probably the best low-tier troop in the game, maybe. But anyway, Archaon gets 3,000 damage value. And again, the build's kind of designed just for Archaon to carry, I think. But even still, I would probably want some level of tactical flexibility here. Like, yeah, it's tricky because Greenskins' cavalry phase is so strong. I mean, Knights, obviously, for Chaos are very good right now. And I'd probably try and get maybe one Knight. I don't know. I'd have to kind of think about the composition. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting because like Greenskins cavalry tends to be very good and can outnumber and outclass Chaos cavalry at times, especially in the light cavalry department. Like Spider Riders, Wolf Riders trade super effectively into Hounds and Marauder Horsemen. So I understand kind of the thinking to a degree of not bringing in them, but at the same time, I think you need at least some extra mobility. Try and especially chase routing units in this matchup if you can. Greenskins' leadership is such that they will be routing and coming back multiple times per battle each unit, so you can chase them off. Very beneficial to you, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. It almost ended up working out, so I can't really argue too much, but that's mostly just because Archaon's such a beast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.